Salvete discipuli way. Welcome once again to Manchester, the garden spot of New Hampshire. Last time we talked about the idea of the comparison of adjectives, the positive, comparative, and superlative degree. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about how you form comparative and superlative degree of adjectives, and also some of the details about direct comparison. You're directly comparing thing A to thing B. So without further ado, let's go to forming the comparative and superlative. You'll probably remember that whenever we're changing form, we need to know what the stem is, whether it's a noun, adjective, pronoun, or verb. Finding the stem is the important thing. Now, for first and second declension adjectives, that's pretty easy. Most of them, the masculine, feminine, and neuter, they use the endings us, And for adjectives, normally just take off the nominative ending and you've got it. Now, it always works if you start with the second form. Take that feminine, light to drop the A, and that's going to be your stem. Notice there are some adjectives that end in R or ER in the nominative singular. And actually, finding the stem is going to work the same way, but we do different things with the comparative and superlative with those. So we're not going to talk about those today. A lot of adjectives in the positive degree are third declension adjectives. Again, if you start with the second ending, take the second form rather, take your ending off of that, that's going to get you your stem. There are some third declension adjectives where the second form is the neuter nominative, like fortis is masculine and feminine, forte is neuter. Take the E off that second form, that'll give you your stem. Very often that second form is going to be the genitive, if like all three genders have the same nominative form, like ingens. Ingentus, take off the is. But make sure, again, to get the correct stem. Now, the nominative for the comparative degree, everything's a third declension adjective in the comparative degree. In the positive, they can be first and second or third. Everything's third here. And the way this works in the nominative singular, take the stem and add ior if it's masculine or feminine. Fortior, a braver man or a braver woman, fortior. The neuter, we don't have the or, it's fortius for the nominative. So the masculine and feminine are going to look alike in the nominative, and as we'll see everywhere else, neuter's different, right? In fact, if you might recall with neuters, we had two rules that we used with nouns and pronouns and adjectives. The nominative and accusative always look alike. So the nominative and accusative singular will always look alike. So if the nominative ends in ius, so does the accusative. Notice for the neuter adjectives, we don't see the stem because the stem is really fortior, ior. Notice look at our example, fortior is. For the neuter, the accusative is going to be fortior. But after the nominative singular, except for the accusative singular neuter, because of that special rule, all the forms of the masculine and feminine, all the forms are going to look alike. We're just going to add third declension endings to the stem fortior. Right? And these are not I stem endings, these are the same endings you'd use for rex, regis. Right? Fortior, fortioris, fortiori, fortiorum, fortiore. The exception is, again, look at the neuter. Since the nominative is fortius, the accusative is fortius. But everywhere else, they all look alike. Now, in the plural, remember the second rule for neuters. The nominative and accusative plural ends in a. Fortiora, right? It's fortiores for the masculine and feminine, fortiora. And since the accusative has to look like the nominative, fortiora again. So the plural forms, fortiores, fortiorum, fortioribus, fortiores, fortioribus. Same endings we use for reges, regum, regibus, reges, regibus. The only exception being those two neuters, the nominative and accusative, end in a.